because straight away, what we do see is that we have a physical component for neshama, breath, okay? But we also have non-physical components like inspiration and especially spirit. One of the others is soul, which is another word and which has a lot of interrogation around it, as we know. And it's actually in that same verse where the Hebrew is another word, nephesh, which is a word that you probably are aware of. So straight away, we have to understand, or we have to try and come to the understanding of what the story of Neshamah is. So cut a long story short here, what we want to do to find the story, because if we begin to extrapolate or begin to imagine, we're going to go way off course. And that's where Strong's Concordance comes in, because it gives us all the other contexts. And in fact, there are 24 specific contexts where we find this word neshama. And if we want to know what neshama is, we've got to go and study those 24 contexts, understand why these 5 different translations are and how they're used. Okay. And so that was the study. And that study led to Job 32, verse 8, where it says, God gave the spirit, the ruach, and also his neshama, his breath, which gives us humans understanding. And so this is what the neshama does. It gives us understanding. It gives us comprehension. It gives us the ability to perceive. And when we go into the word for understanding, bain in Hebrew, once again, using the concordance. Now, I just want to say something about this. The concordance doesn't tell us the meaning. The concordance simply tells us what 50 scholars, the translators of the King James Bible, what they translated it to. And these were scholars. So it's giving us these different translations. And there, again, I don't remember how many, but there are probably 20 translations for bain and for understanding. And all of them relate to perception, to learning, to perceiving, etc., etc., etc. And that is what neshama gives us. Now, I'm going to do a little jump here to get to, because otherwise it's going to take too long. What neshama is, it's consciousness. And that is what Genesis 2:7 says. Right? And the consciousness that God imparted to that first human is his neshama. So it's God's consciousness. Okay? And I listened to one of your podcasts, and when you said, or at least my understanding was, the divinity in us. From this point of view, yes. And that's what's incredible. We have this divinity of this neshama, God's neshama in us, God's consciousness in us. All right? And again, cutting a long story short here, that's what makes us in the image of God. He is who he is. We are who we are, but we are images of him. And I'm going to show you how we are images of him in just a second. Okay. And this is where the mental is, because as soon as we start talking about consciousness, we're talking about mental. And so this is the clarity that we must have as a proper foundation for treating mental health. Unlock Scripture's core meaning with Biblical Hebrew made simple. No reading, no memorizing. Get your free mini course now. theexplanation.com/naked.